And welcome to Stinkin Thinkin with Robert and Chandra. And now here's your hosts, Robert and Chandra. Hello everyone out there in podcast land. How are you doing? I'm sorry. I'm not going to restart this. This is already the fifth attempt. We're going on with it. I'm Robert.
And I'm Chandra.
And we've been together. How long have we been together?
We've been dating for about 3 weeks.
Yes. And so some of you out there might be asking, what do these people have to offer for advice? They've only been dating for 3 weeks. What do we tell them when they ask that?
Well, I'm 50 years old and I've been married twice.
And I'm 54 years old and I've been married 4 times. Yeah, I've been married quite a few times. I've been married 4 times. The next time I get married will be the 5th time. Not implying anything at all there. That's okay. You know, I just haven't met the right person yet, and I'm sure I've met the right person now. I've been in a lot of bad relationships, a lot of abusive relationships, and I'm not going to go through that anymore. Ain't that right? That's right. What about your pet? You've been in really bad abusive relationships also, haven't you?
Mostly I was the person that was intolerable. So I was married when I was around 20. I was with someone for 10 years. Mm-hmm. I was married the last 7 years of the 10-year relationship, and I now have a 25-year-old daughter. Mm-hmm. And then it was a few years in between that relationship and the second one, which only lasted, I can't even remember. I put a lot of it out of my mind. It was over 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. I married the same person twice within a year period. And I was not, that was probably my fault why it didn't work out. I know it was. But more maybe on that later. But so I've been divorced from my second husband for 15 years now. Uh-huh. So I've been living alone by myself that whole time, dating on and off, which leads us up to kind of like how we met. Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with what we've talked about so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I might have messed up.
No, just keep going.
Just keep going? All right.
I just think it's better.
I think it's better? Okay. All right. Well.
It's not so staged.
People
see what we're really about.
Yeah. So, we'll try and have some intro music next time. I just looked down at my audio mixer here. My desktop audio is almost all the way down, which means we did not hardly get any of the music that... I'll do better next time.
Do you want to do it again?
No, it's okay. No, we've already gone this far, so we might as well keep on going. There's always bugs you got to work out. Me and Brick, we've had to work out so many bugs in our podcast. For those of you out there that don't know, I also have a podcast that I co-host with my buddy. His name is Corey, but we call him Brick. Why do we call him Brick? He used to be a catcher in playing baseball, and the nickname with catchers is they're a brick wall back there. So he wanted to call himself Brick Wall, and I was like, no, that doesn't really roll off the tongue very well. So we just went with Brick, and it seems to work okay. Anyway, so enough about that. Let's get on with what we have to talk about today. And why don't you go ahead and fill the people in on what we are going to talk about today?
Well, I think we've got 3 main things we need to hit, which is how we met.
Yeah.
And the second one, we really wanted to do this podcast on the things that we are dealing with as a new couple at our age, which is significant because we're trying to push forward hard for a long-term relationship, even though, we don't know each other that well. And something that we've encountered with a naysayer already.
Yeah.
Because as you know, we've been using Stinkin as the a title for the podcast, and that has a history too. There is a quote that goes along with that, and I'd like to just save that so we don't get off on so many tangents.
Right.
Just start from one and go through.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like you to go first while I get my brains together if you want to talk about how we met.
Okay. We met on a dating site called Plenty of Fish. Now, I know some of you are going to laugh about that like Chandra just did. I've never met any quality women on Plenty of Fish. And I'm sure some of you out there who are female haven't really met any quality men on Plenty of Fish. And that's, there's all kinds of people out there, especially with the free dating sites. I've even used Match.com. There's another dating site. I can't remember what it's called. eHarmony. I've used eHarmony.com, and that didn't work out. I would send messages, and I couldn't get anyone to reply back. And I was starting to think if there was something wrong with me. And I fell further and further into a depression about it. And I was about ready to give up on finding anybody. And I was about ready to just close out my POF account. And I saw this person place an ad, and the title of the ad said Stinkin, Thinkin. And that hit me because I used to watch a podcast by a gentleman or with a gentleman by the name of Mark Gungor, who has a video out there called A Tale of Two Brains, the difference between a man's brain and a woman's brain. He also has a marriage seminar called Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage. And I always thought if a couple could laugh, if a married couple or a couple in a relationship could laugh with each other during the relationship, it just makes it all the more better, I think. And so I was like, wow, I'm gonna just message her. I mean, she's attractive, and she seems like a decent person instead of a scammer. And one of the criteria that you had to meet was that you had to put your full name on there so she could check out your Facebook profile and see what kind of person you were. But see what kind of things you post on there. And so I had no problem doing that. I'm fully transparent, And she first deleted my message. And then I messaged her back, and she let down that wall and replied back the second time, and we got to talking and messaging back and forth, and we got comfortable enough to where we thought it was okay to meet for dinner and a movie type thing. And I just offered to have her come over and watch Indiana Jones and The Dial of Destiny. I almost forgot what movie that was. And I made some hamburgers on the grill, and she just looked even more beautiful in her profile. I was quite stricken with her beauty, in fact, and still am to this day.
3 weeks later.
3 weeks later. I mean, it's just, yeah. I'm still going like, what does she see in me? How did I get so lucky? So anyway, yeah, we had a really fun first night. We held hands, and I couldn't help but give her a kiss. and then she later told me that I had bad breath. So yeah, I was quite embarrassed. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I totally blew it. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and I didn't make a great one. But I made a good enough one so that you wanted to see me again. And I did take care of my breath situation, even though I brush my teeth every morning, but I guess it always helps to brush them again when you come home from work, or have a stick of gum, breath mint, whatever you want. And so we had a great night. The movie was good, and the company was even better.
Yeah.
And we made plans to see each other again, and we were talking throughout the week, and we connected even more and more, and got closer, and realized we had more and more things in common. Like, she likes Sam Kinison. I love Sam Kinison, and I was like totally blown away by that, because not too many women like Sam Kinison. They're they think that Sam Kinison was a misogynist, and he talked bad about women and stuff. Well, he has. There is humor to that, and if you can't see the humor in the things that he says, and
in your own humanity, in your own faults,
exactly, then that's on you. That's your fault. That's your problem. You need to look inward. So, and she loves Van Halen, which I absolutely love Van Halen as well. In fact, one of her questions to me was, Dave or Sammy, and I said both, because I think Dave was a great showman, but I think Sammy was a great musician, and so they each made great music. I do like Sammy Hagar's music a little bit more because it is more melodic. It has some really good love songs, and I'm a sucker for a love song. And they had more musical range. Dave's music was, rock and heavy rock, and it was pretty much straightforward, just rock. I think the only soft... Oh, thank you, the little bunny ears. For those of you that aren't watching this on YouTube, you won't know, so you might want to check it out on YouTube. Anyway, this is your first time on camera, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, you're doing great. The camera's very good to you.
Thank you.
You're very comfortable. I like that. So, Dave, just I think the softest, or the softest song that they did with Dave was "I'll Wait," I think, and that was maybe borderline to rock, or to heavy rock. Anyway, moving on. We spent the weekend together. We had a great time, and we just found more and more things in common. We got closer. We had more of a connection. There was definitely chemistry on that first night, I think. Definitely chemistry, don't you think? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I had to go to L.A. I had planned this trip for months, almost a year in advance. And I wasn't expecting to meet someone like Chandra. I was not expecting that at all. So I hated to have to leave for L.A. Because I was having so much fun. Yeah, exactly. The Dodgers, check it out. I was having so much fun getting to know her, but I was like, I got to do this. If I don't, I'm going to regret it. So I had the tickets already. I had the plane tickets. I had the hotel already paid for and reserved, and I had a great time. I got to meet some of my favorite Dodgers. I got to meet the legend Earl Hershiser, but I didn't get to share that experience with her, and that's one thing that I really wished I could have. So next year we will go to Dodger Stadium and see the Dodgers, maybe during spring break. Maybe. So that's how we met, and we fell in love even more when I was in LA. And when I flew back on Thursday, it just exploded. It was like, I do not want to be away from this woman anymore. Not for a day, not for 2 days, definitely not for 3 days. And so we made the commitment with each other that whatever happens, we are going to work through it. We are going to stay together. We are committed to each other. There is nothing that we can't work through together. And that's just through the power of positive thinking. You have to stay positive. If you let negativity sneak in, it'll eat away at your relationship. Don't let the enemy have any grip on your relationship. So
I have something I want to say.
Okay, because I've been talking forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we messaged back and forth a little while, not even a day's worth, on Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I don't think he's a weirdo. So I told him I'm going to give you my phone number so we can just message. And
some people may argue with you that I am a weirdo. just letting you know that.
And maybe at that point, I can't remember, maybe it was after, we had already been recording voice messages and sending them back and forth. So this went on for 2 days before I ever came over to his house for the first time. So when I fell in love with him was just through the talking back and forth, that 2 days, not even...
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just...
Well, I think we do...
That's what did it.
Yeah. I think we do have a very special relationship. We've made our mistakes. We've learned from them, though. And we're willing to take those things that we've learned and use them in this relationship. So
that's our background.
Background.
So that was the first thing we should have talked about. And then, so the second thing.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, and I was going with this where.
Yep.
The second thing, okay. So why is anything we have to say important? Well, there's probably a lot of people in our specific situation, our age, maybe even in their 30s and 40s. And this is... You want to start?
Well,
since you were the one reluctant to, you know more about how you were going to approach what you had to tell me.
Yeah. So I was in a marriage. It was a very bad marriage. I was actually sleeping on a couch for 4 or 5 months. I had not had any physical contact with my wife for 2 years. I was walked all over. I was not made to feel important or special. And biblically, it says that you are to put your husband first, and then God, or is it God first and then your husband? I can't remember. But the man is up there somewhere. In this relationship, it was her daughter that was put first. And when she was put first, it led to a lot of issues. Like when you just give someone a computer who didn't deserve it or didn't earn it, especially when you were using it at the time, and it's just given to her. So yeah, that was an issue. I mean, I didn't feel like I was important at all. And so after I gave her $700 and some for bills and things, she informed me she was going to move out. And this came as a shock to me because I had no idea, and if I would have known that, I wouldn't have put $700 and some in her checking account. So now I was being used for money. So I never saw a divorce because she was always in such poor health. I thought she was just going to die soon. That's the only thing I could think of. And I never even thought that I would find someone that would want to be with me, or at least find me important enough to make me a priority in their life. Now, I did have a relationship, but it was not a very good one. And I'm not going to name names, but once again, it was a similar situation where their daughter was put up above me, and I was not happy. It just felt like I was getting into another relationship, just like the one I was in all over again. So, I was informed that relationship was ending, and I put on the brave front. I was like, oh, really? We can't talk about it? I was pretty a good actor there.
Could we clarify?
Clarify?
Why? Somebody that's listening might say, well, you should put your kids above your spouse. So when you say it like that,
Okay.
it might come off as selfish.
Well,
maybe we need
no.
some more background on
Okay, well, let's see.
why that was a problem.
Well, it's because I was always bottom. I was always the bottom of the totem pole. When someone wanted when someone wanted to watch TV, we always had to watch what they wanted to watch. Yeah, I hate I hate I hate it when my brain doesn't work. I mean, yes, I mean there are some times when your child, your daughter, your son is important and comes first. But at what point do you put? I mean, you can make your husband, your spouse, feel important too.
So are you saying it was way unbalanced?
Oh, way unbalanced. I'm talking like 99% 1%. It was like the fat kid on the teeter-totter with the skinny kid on top. So yeah. I did not feel important at all. So anyway,
so when I met you,
yeah,
you were
I was still married. Now, and like I said, the reason I was still married was because, well, for one thing, she didn't really tell me where she had moved to. And so I was feeling kind of overwhelmed with, the whole ordeal of having to find her and I was thinking like, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. Plus, there really was no urgency for me to even seek a divorce. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too trusting of a person and just thinking the other person's not going to screw me over and run up a bunch of bills. So maybe I should have been more urgent and had checked on the divorce. We went and got the papers yesterday, and I didn't realize how easy it was. I was like, that's all I had to do? Well, I'm an idiot, so yeah, that's... so I kind of felt bad about that.
Back up and let everybody know how you felt about proceeding up to tell me how you told me, and then how we dealt with that issue.
Okay, so I had her. We were sitting down on my bed in the bedroom. I think we were
a week and a half in.
Yeah, we were a week and a half in.
Full-blown discussion on what we wanted, full-blown sex, everything.
Yep. And I just had this feeling in the pit of my stomach that I needed to tell her my little deep dark secret. And I thought to myself, if I don't tell her now, it's just going to get even worse, the longer I wait. So I told her, and you were like, oh, okay, all right. We can work through this. We can get through this. You've been nothing but supportive of me, and I love that about you. So thank you.
I actually think there's probably a lot of people in that situation.
Yeah.
When I come across people on Plenty of Fish, there's always somebody that doesn't disclose it, or they say they choose an option rather not say, or then you do go out with them and they're still hung up on their ex, or they just don't pursue.
Yeah. Well, and I've had a few people, when I've flat out told them that I was married, they say, nope, sorry, can't do that. And then they block me or whatever. So I was really afraid of her reacting that way, and I thought, no, I should still tell her. I need to be forthright, even though we talked about how we're gonna work through everything and stuff. This is a pretty major thing. I need to let her know, and I'm glad I did. I wish I would have told her a little sooner and been a little bit more forthright about it, but I can't change what's in the past. What's in the past is in the past, and it's going to stay in the past. I can't do anything about it. All I can do is learn from it and become a better person.
At this time, I had already known this about the abusive relationships and how the marriage went down and stuff, so I understood why he kept it a secret, because I would have been tempted to do the same thing if I really liked somebody.
Yeah.
So, I got it.
And Chandra has met some of my friends, and they are just so thankful that I've met a nice person, and they've already vouched for me that I am a good person. I've just been screwed over by these really, what's the word? No, I don't want to say bitches, but just horrible, manipulative women who just use men and just toss them aside like shake and bake bags. That's a Sam Kinison reference, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, but I am a good guy. There are good guys out there, and if you haven't met a good guy yet, keep hope alive. I'm sure you will eventually. Yeah. So.
Okay, so talking about this little quote that, to me, mindset matters in everything I have to do. And so there's this quote that I first heard from Ben Azadi on Keto Camp. It's an excellent YouTube channel. And one of his mentors, maybe, I don't know where he heard it, but he had said, if you have stinkin' thinkin', your dreams are sinkin'.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked a lot about vitamin G being the most important vitamin that you can take, And basically he meant vitamin G is gratitude. And they had studies in people where people that practice this every day, that improvements in this, that, or the other, whatever. You can go on the channel and see all that. My thing right now is not to go off on how great fasting and keto and all that is. That's for another topic. But that's what he talks about on his channel, biohacking, longevity, all that kind of stuff. So that stuck with me.
How much weight have you lost on your diet?
I had lost, that's for another one, but I lost near 60 pounds doing keto and fasting, and shout out to the snake diet. If you don't know anything about the snake diet wizard, Cole Robinson, and you want to get over your vices and raise your frequency, your vibrations, go check it out. But if you're a snowflake and you can't handle someone telling you you're fucking fat and maybe you need to do some shit to fix yourself, don't go there because you're going to be offended.
By the way,
I wasn't.
By the way, this is a R-rated podcast, so kids can't listen to this. Kids
can't listen to this.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's just how it is.
No, don't be sorry.
The truth will set you free. And it made me lose like 60, I think I lost like 85 pounds doing that. And the only reason I put it on wasn't because it didn't work, because I got stupid and lazy and started eating shit again when I wasn't working for a year and a half. Okay, but so...
And I'm soda free for a day now. I have not had soda in over a day now.
So here's the deal. And then my other favorite quote comes from Bruce Lee, and it says, "What you habitually think largely determines what you will ultimately become."
Right.
Okay. And so I try to live by that. I try to put those two quotes out forward, because to me, I'm sick. I'm a bitch. I don't feel good if I'm not trying to be better. Which is like why my marriages failed, because I was sick and miserable, right? And now I'm not anymore, so I'm happy and I can commit to this. But this whole thing comes back to, we wanted to do this podcast, and he approached me about it.
Yeah.
And so that's why we called it what we did. And if you are going to try to do anything of value in your life, and you're going to try to chase any purpose, any passion that you have, you better realize there's going to be naysayers.
Yeah.
Okay? Because there are a lot of other people that are miserable too.
Yep. They want to bring you down right there in that pit with them. And
we know that we were going to encounter this on here. And so we've only been thinking about this podcast for about a week. So it's hurriedly thrown together. But I would like to read what we came across today.
Okay.
When he posted. We both work during the day, so we... throw a lot of things up to keep in touch with each other and to let the other one know we're important.
Most of the time you just go like, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's good, honey. We'll go.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. She doesn't say anything like that.
So Bobby posted today on his Facebook, "Our new podcast is coming soon. We deal with things that we overcome in our relationship and ways to make yours stronger." Now, I admit he may have used the wrong pronoun. I believe it should have said something like, "Our new podcast is coming soon. We would like to talk about things that we have encountered already and how we dealt with them," instead of being, "We are going to fix your relationship because we are know-it-alls." That is not what we meant.
Yeah, and it's not the first time I haven't used the preferred pronouns.
This is what we got from somebody in his friends list.
Yeah.
The comment goes as follows. It says, "You guys are going to make my 22-year marriage stronger?" ? With a emoji where the guy has his eyebrows raised and that white glove to his face, like, And as I read this, I was tired after work, and I read it quickly, and I may have interpreted it one way, and I had to go back and reread it and reread what he wrote. And I thought about it, and that's how I knew we had come off that way. Now, this is what I could have said, but because I do not use Stinkin Thinkin anymore, I wanted to set this straight. So I reply, Robert asked me if I would mind doing a podcast with him because he has always wanted to do one with someone he cares about. Okay?
Yeah, don't feel bad, Brick. I mean, I still care about you, but this is a whole different type of thing.
I think it is an interesting topic for a new couple of our age to talk about. Some of us were not lucky enough to have found a significant other as younger adults and have a successful 20-plus year marriage in our 50s.
Yep,
but that doesn't mean we can't be successful. Let me go back to the post because that was just a screenshot.
Yeah.
I do want to say how I ended that, that reply.
If you see you had iPhone, you wouldn't have to worry about that, but you got Android, so.
Yes. Okay.
Gotta give her crap. There we go.
Okay. Okay, that doesn't mean we can't be successful now that we have life experience. It's a goal of mine to build a strong long-term relationship like yours, and we would welcome your input on the podcast.
That's right. So if you have any questions, any comments for us, please reach out to us. Our email address is Stinkin Thinkin Podcast. That's no G's whatsoever. Stinkin Thinkin Podcast. All one word. At gmail.com. Send us your comments, your questions. Keep your criticisms, your negativity at home. We don't need them. We're only about positivity here. If you're sending us out negative emails, that's probably why we're doing this podcast, so we can avoid this thinking or try and help you change your mindset to much more a much more positive mentality is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, about naysayers.
Yeah.
You don't become successful and take to heart what naysayers said. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he said, fuck the naysayers. Go listen to his inspirational, motivational speech on YouTube. Yeah. Just fuck the naysayers.
Yeah, it kind of went like this. Fuck the naysayers. It's not good. You don't listen to them. So, yeah, something like that.
I refuse the negative.
I refuse the negativity. I only like to pump iron positivity. Yeah, it's not good.
Motiversity. Go listen to Motiversity every morning.
Yeah. Okay. So what's next?
I don't know. Those were the topics I wanted to cover.
Okay. Can I please talk about my 10 things that I wanted to talk about earlier? Okay, yes?
Yeah.
Yay! Where's my phone? You know what? Let's just bring it up on the internet.
Do I need to go get it?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I'll just bring it up here. We're good. I'll just type in...
I'm not sure I've seen these yet.
Oh, well then this will be fun then. So here we go. 10 ways to lose a guy. No, we don't want 10 ways to lose a guy.
Paul Simon.
10 ways to leave your lover. 10 ways to avoid a fight in a marriage. Here we go. So here we go. No, that's not the right one, is it? Let's see. No. Okay, I had it here. No. Which one do we... Well, there's so many things here. But it's not the one I really wish I would have bookmarked it. If I would have bookmarked it. What did I do with my phone? Is it still charging? It's probably still charging in the bedroom. That's okay. So what we'll do is... let's go to... let's go to this one. This has...
I have it right here.
Oh, you do? Because didn't I send you the link to it?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. We'll get all these bugs worked out, people. Well, next podcast will be a little bit better. No, actually, I think we've done pretty good this time.
I believe there are people in the same situation, and I'm sure there are women who get butthurt when their man tells them that, because that's just how women are.
Yeah.
Hold grudges over stuff and then bring it up later.
Yep.
But is it really his fault? No, he didn't know he was going to meet you.
Yep.
So, how to stop fighting in a relationship.
Okay, here we go. So here's 10 ways to stop fighting in a relationship. And I think the first one is very good.
He got this from Brides Magazine.
Brides Magazine, yes. First one, I think you could read the first one. Look, I want to get you involved in this.
All right. Want a more harmonious relationship? While you may not be able to curb arguing completely.
This one right here.
Oh.
That's okay.
Adopt a positive outlook.
There you go.
It's not all doom and gloom. Arguing indicates that something isn't right in your relationship, says Lamb. That something is important to you, and so is your partner. The majority of us rarely have fights with people who aren't important to us. Recognize these positives. Once you know what the problem is, you can look to solve it.
There you go. Okay, so number 9 is quit needing to be right. Now, this one I had a lot of in my third marriage. My wife was a right fighter, and I've watched enough Dr. Phil episodes to where he constantly used this in his episodes with couples. And he's like, "You're a right fighter." I used to be able to do a pretty good Dr. Phil impression. I don't know if I could do it right now. You're nuttier than Chinese chicken salad. Okay. No thanks. Okay, so this is a difficult habit to break, but you should at least try. Most fights are about proving to our partner that they are wrong, unjustified, or unreasonable for not doing what we want them to do. Instead of getting to a fight about this, why not try asking for what you want because it's important to you? So that's very good. Okay, next one. There you go, honey.
All right, take a moment to chill the fuck out.
That's right.
Difficult subjects are challenging because they generate a lot of emotion, says Lamb. When you feel a strong emotion coming up, especially anger, find some space by thinking to yourself about things. Anger usually arises when we have a need that is not being met, we don't feel listened to, taken seriously, accepted, or understood. When you go back to your partner, focus on what you need.
Okay, and right now you needed me to move my thumb out of the way. Okay, here we go. Next one. Stay on point. Boy, do I need this one sometimes. Oh, you know what? I hope they can do it. Yeah. I moved the microphone away. Here we go. It's tempting to treat a relationship like a court of law. We want to build a case against our partner. And to do that, we sometimes gather evidence from past experiences to support our case. This makes the whole thing much bigger than it needs to be. They either have to admit that they're wrong, they've always been wrong, or can never be right, or they have to fight you. So, okay. Rather than dragging up the past, stay in the present moment and stick to the topic at hand. Focus on the issue that's bothering you currently and find a way of asking for what you need without making them feel bad if they don't give it to you. Okay, here we go.
Are we plagiarizing?
You know, I was just thinking about that. So yes, this is from Brides Magazine. The author is, who's the author? Charlotte Granger? And these are all, this is from Jeff Lamb. He's a psychotherapist, couples counselor, and author. So yes, this is not our research. This is Dr. Lamb's or Jeff Lamb's. Silence of the Lambs. I don't know. Hello, Clarice. Okay, so Yeah. No, that's not. I already did that one. Okay, there we go.
Talk about your feelings. When you are in the midst of an argument, you may fall into the trap of blaming your partner for everything instead of focusing on what you think they've done wrong. Focus on your emotions. The important thing is to convey how you're feeling rather than accusing your partner, adds Lamb.
Yep. Okay. This one is I would say it's pretty important because it helps you stop before you say things that you might regret later. Breathe before saying something mean. Yes, I had a ex-wife that said a very mean thing to me once, and I really wish she would have used this word of advice. She basically told me that I failed everything I ever attempted. So, yeah, and that's something I've never forgotten. Your words don't always need to shoot to kill. Taking a breath gives you an opportunity to think about why you want to say the mean thing, explains Lamb. Usually we say mean things because we feel hurt ourselves and want to hurt back. Saying something like, I'm feeling so hurt, I want to say something undermining. We've been hurt and we want to hurt the other person. We want the other person to be hurt so they understand how that feels. Using the kind of wording I have described can achieve that without starting a fight.
I understand that. I used to be my second husband asked me, why do you have to be so mean?
Wasn't there a song like that? I could have sworn there was a song. Why do you have to be so mean? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. This is a good one. It's your turn.
Remember the good times. If you're mad, you might have forgotten how much your partner means to you. Mm-hmm. Build up a reservoir of good feelings in the relationship, including why you love each other, says Lamb. Mm-hmm. Other things that can go into this reservoir are the good times you have together, moments of intense closeness, and unsolicited acts of kindness. Mm-hmm. Draw on it when things get tough. That end of quote. This is something we've been practicing every night.
Yes.
Is saying 3 things to each other, or just we do it out loud to each other, but we say 3 things that we are grateful for.
Yes, and I thought it would be a good idea at the close of every podcast that we do the same. We say 3 things about the other person to kind of reinforce that.
Okay.
So, yeah. Show that you understand your partner. There are 2 sides to every story. Take a look at things from your partner's perspective. Excuse me. Convey your understanding of your partner through your actions, thinking what they might want us to do and doing it, suggests Lamb. The danger here is second-guessing our partner, which is liable to prolong a fight. Okay.
Next one. Listen to what they have to say. Stop thinking about what you have to say and take a moment to listen. A good alternative to second-guessing is to ask questions. Did I already read that? When we're listening, most of us focus on what we're going to say next instead of listening to what we're being said right now. Mm-hmm. In a difficult conversation, we also tend to focus on whether what's being said is true. We're not really listening to our partner with the aim of understanding them. Listen to their experience as just that, their experience, mm-hmm. without basically worrying about whether it's objectively true, valid, or internalizing it.
Yeah. And also, one other thing that they didn't mention, but I think it's important because Mark Gungor mentioned it in his marriage seminar, is when you listen to what they have to say, don't fix it. Don't try and fix it, because it will just make things worse. Just listen to what they have to say, and not offer a solution. Because you do that, as Mark Gungor would say, they will kill you. So yes.
Kill.
Yep. Consider couples therapy. Of course, if you just can't quit fighting, you might need expert help. Whilst I hope some of the above tips will be helpful, putting them into practice isn't easy when your relationship is entangled in winning and losing fights, says Lamb. Couples therapists can help you to experience a different outcome. They are trained and experienced in talking about all aspects of relationships. They will want to support both partners equally in making the couple's relationship the best it can be. All right. So, yeah, good advice. I know I've had to go to counseling before, and and don't go to counseling expecting to get beat up. It's not. Nothing is ever. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, don't go into counseling afraid that you're just gonna, be beat across the head with everything you've done wrong. Just look at it as a way of learning a whole new way to do things. We don't. Us guys are kind of dumb sometimes, and we don't always do the right things or say the right things. Like half of the things I've said in this podcast were probably not right. But anyway, just go in there, with the mentality that you're trying to make this relationship work. It's not about you. Don't go in there, don't worry about your pride, basically. Worry about focusing on your marriage and how to make it better. Because, what's that? What is that? How does that song say? Love isn't a fight, but it's something worth fighting for. So, yeah, definitely keep that in mind. Is there anything else? Are we about ready to wrap this up with our 3 things?
I think we're good.
Okay. So, what are your 3 things?
I am grateful for my job.
Yep.
I am grateful for my health, and I'm grateful we did this podcast tonight.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm grateful for you in my life. I'm grateful for the house that I have, and the friends that I have, and I'm grateful for having such a supportive woman help me with this podcast. So thank you, baby. I appreciate it. Appreciate you. That's going to do it for this episode of Stinkin Thinkin. This is Robert and
Chandra
saying good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
That was fun.